Well, hello, rugby fans, and welcome to the DHL Clubhouse. We're digging deep into the vault. We've had a couple of games, but this is the big one, especially on the women's side of the game. The 2014 Rugby World Cup for women played in France at Stade Jean-Bouin. I'm delighted to be joined by two of the fiercest of competitors, Mandy Marchuk and our captain on that day, Kelly Russell. Welcome, ladies. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having us, Gareth.
So we're just going to set up this game. Obviously, you'd played England just previously in your last pool game, 13 all. We should say that Canada qualified as one of the top 4 teams, got into that semifinal against France, and what an amazing result that was. We all saw that in the DHL Clubhouse last week. An awesome result there, and you'd earned this right in the final. The first time ever Canadian women have got to a final. And Kelly, how important was that for your team? Was that one of your goals going into the tournament?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the goal was to win the thing. But the incredible thing about our team was that, you know, it was a lot of the girls' first World Cup, so a lot of new experiences for everybody, but there was that mixture of people that had been to a World Cup before. So we came into it taking every moment as it came, every game as it came. We tried not to look too far ahead. So I think that actually played in our favor as well, of not having half the team or so not having that experience. So it really played well with the girls that we had and the team that we had, that we were able to be as successful as we were.
There were some big moments in that tournament, Mandy. Obviously, in the pool stages, one big story was that New Zealand had been beaten by Ireland. England then beat Ireland in their semifinal, and you guys had to go through France. And as I mentioned, what an amazing semifinal it was. 18-16, Canada the victors in the end. One of the greatest tries the Canadian team's ever scored. Just big moments. First of all, how hard was it for you coming off that semifinal and getting back up for a final again?
I actually felt like we had, personally, left everything on the field. I genuinely feel like we had won the World Cup in that moment, and it was one of the most amazing experiences to experience with that team. Just like Kelly said, with 8 returning players and everybody having their first cap at that tournament, that dynamic, that diverse team, I honestly really just showed up, and I felt like just in that moment in front of 18,000 people, we had won a World Cup. So to get up for a final against England, knowing that we had tied them in the pool stages, it was not going to be an easy game, and they were coming to play.
You mentioned that the big crowds you're having. This is really a watershed, a tipping point, if you will, for women's rugby, I think globally, but definitely in Canada as well. We knew there was, TSN did a great job covering it, getting big TV numbers back home, people organizing viewing parties. Were you aware of that as the team was preparing for World Cup final? Kelly, do you know this was going on back home, and that, you know, young girls all over the country were actually watching this and maybe choosing rugby as their sport?
Yeah, I thought it was an amazing opportunity for us to be on TV and expose the game. I think having TSN air our games was pretty incredible for the growth of women's rugby in Canada. We were aware of course, little things here and there. We were receiving lots of supportive messages that TSN was airing the games, that, you know, people were tuning in, that we had a whole whack of support coming from Canada. But at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, we were living those moments day by day, and I can't say enough about the environment that was created there by the girls and our staff, that we were so focused on what we were doing, and each training session, each game coming up, that sort of thing, that the whirlwind really didn't hit, and the impact didn't make its mark until we got home. And that's when we were like, holy, we really, bittersweet, not, finishing the tournament off with a win, but the impact that was made from that tournament really hit when we did get home. And it was so incredible, the support that we got from all Canadians and the rugby community.
Yeah, you mentioned the staff. Sorry. Amanda, let's get into talking about the game, the actual final. England had been to the last 4 finals, had silver medals in all of them. But a few of you had played in a sevens final. I'd be interested to know if that had it helped you at all as you prepared the sevens final in Moscow the year before. Did that help you as prepared for the biggest stage women's rugby's ever seen?
I honestly, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I can't remember that exact feeling, but I feel like every situation has its own, it plays its own role. The final in Moscow, it was exciting because it was our first time ever being to a final in a World Cup, but there was no crowd. And knowing that you're in France in a World Cup final playing in front of a stadium. Like, French fans are insane. They're the energy in the place, and like, just knowing that that's what we were facing, like, I don't think there's anything that can really prepare you for just the environment alone. Never mind like the game, that mental game, and then physically showing up and doing it. So I think also playing with such an amazing team and that calm before the storm, that was kind of incredible, actually.
Let's mention the team. I'll go through the starting lineup before we head into the big kickoff. At fullback, Zusman, Harvey, Marchuk, Burke, Dauvain, and Belchos and Allery in the middle. Front row, who were so impressive, not only in the pool game, but in the final. Pinot Reid, Donaldson, and Leith. Blackwood and Sampson in the second row. And Murphy, Pecan, and Russell, an awesome back row performance. Don't forget the subs coming off the bench: Sugawara, Waters, Laura Russell, Olivia Merchant, and Mac and Kirby. So a team performance. That was the team that got it done. We're going to kick off. Final words, Kelly. Can you give us just a little bit of an insight into what your final comments were before you left the change room? The team was so confident and so loose and played with such great confidence. You know, what was your final message to the team before you took to the field?
Well, now you're taking me back. I think it was really just to continue what we've been doing. I mean, the team was playing with such heart that was the thing that was going to bring us through. And as much as we didn't get the final win, but like, the girls left it all out in the field, and that's all we could really ask for. Well, fantastic. And thank you for being here, ladies, in the DHL Clubhouse. Thank you to DHL for all the support they give us. The 2014 Rugby World Cup Women's Final from Paris, France, Canada versus England. Enjoy.
Canada, their scoreline against the lesser experienced Samoa and Spain, not so impressive as England. Then the semi-final against the hosts. A try and result that will live long in Canadian rugby history. The result that booked their place in this final, a place England know only too well. England's fourth final in a row, 3 silver medals on the bounce. But with those finals comes experience. 871 caps in today's 15, 1,139 in the 22. And it's a third cup final for Danielle Waterman, who wins cap 60 today. Also Rochelle Clark, who wins cap 95. And Maggie Alfonsi as well, a third final for the open side. Gary Streets, 2 changes come at scrum half when Natasha Hunt starts, and Marley Packer, the hard-running Marley Packer, comes in at 6. Katie McLean, who had possibly her best ever game in an England shirt in the semi-final, is the captain, and will look to feed the strike runners such as Emily Scarratt and Kat Merchant. Canada may not have been in a 15s World Cup final before, but last year they played in the Sevens final in Moscow with a handful of these players, and their almost sevens-like freedom of playing here in France, a style rarely seen, has propelled them into this final. The semi-final victory was inspired by Alicia Allery, who moved from 15 to 9 that day, and scrum half is where she starts this evening. Julianne Jushman takes her place in the 15 shirt. 2 of those 3 changes that Francia Rottier makes. The other is on the wing. Jessica Donovan replaces Brittany Waters, and up front, Marie-Pierre Pinot Reid and Hilary Leith have been quite outstanding, especially at scrum time, led by Kelly Russell. Conditions, well, it's dry, it's a cloudy evening, Slight breeze, but it has definitely dropped from earlier on. Immaculate surface. For England, it is a 5th final. The only time they were not in the final game, they beat Canada in a 3rd place playoff back in 1998. That was Canada's highest ever finish. Today, they guarantee to top that. Prime Ministers from both England, with David Cameron and Stephen Harper in Canada, have wished their teams good luck. Such is the far-reaching nature of this World Cup. Sue Day, former England captain, double World Cup finalist, is alongside.
This is it, isn't it, Johnny? This is it, the World Cup final. Yes, the teams come from 2 completely different places. England, 20 years of pain in all those World Cup finals and no victories. Canada riding a wave of excitement, being in their first final, but in the end it doesn't really matter how many finals you've been to. Now it's all about the team that keeps its cool, that plays its best and trusts itself. That's the team that wins.
Canada, tough and unified and fearless, forged from their 2013 Nations Cup win over England. England and Canada met 8 days ago in the pool stages. It was a draw that day. Today is a totally different prospect. England's 3rd final in a row. Canada's first time at the pinnacle of the women's game. England were beaten up in the draw in the pool stages. It's normally been the other way around over the last 4 or 5 years. It gave them the boost that we saw in that semi-final against Ireland. Can England continue in the same manner? Can Canada continue in the same manner? But we will have to wait, because it is time for both national anthems. Francois Ratier, the Canada head coach, before the semi-final was depicting the 1974 boxing bout between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, and the never say die attitude. Look what inspired them that day. I wonder what his words were 10 minutes ago. For England, it would be relax, enjoy the moment. The first meeting after the disappointment of the Cup final 4 years ago, this England squad promised each other to do themselves justice and lift the next World Cup trophy. Today is that day. Amy Perrott, the Australian, takes charge, fully deserving of her key role in this final. Nick Inwood and Alex Pratt, the assistant referees. This is a World Cup that has propelled the women's game into a different rugby stratosphere. A chance to be part of rugby history. Will it be England or Canada who book their place in rugby's immortality? This is the 2014 Women's Rugby World Cup final. Mandy Marchuk gets it underway, and it's Rochelle Clark, two of the most experienced players on the field. And it's no mistake from either side so far. Interesting, isn't it? Rochelle Rocky Clark and Sophie Hemming, two England players to take the first two balls. They were so brilliant in the semi-final at scrum time. Reacted from that draw against Canada when they were shoved around by this lady, Hilary Leith. Allery. Magley Harvey. Quinn. Marchuk again. Belchus, this young fly half, and Burt on that hard angle. She loves to run. Allery starting in a World Cup final at scrum half. She's played there in the sevens format of the game. What a big evening for her. And interesting to see what it does to Canada's back three as well. Kelly Russell, Burke again, giving the opportunity to Harvey. And it's Scarratt who makes the tackle.
Clear release.
But she didn't release. One of the star names of this World Cup, Magley Harvey.
Yeah, England will be watching Magley Harvey very closely. Emily Scarratt was on her very, very quickly there. Kay Wilson lurking as well. They'll make sure she's well covered, but a good, solid start from both teams.
Stephanie Bernier. ACL injury in that semi-final, the normal scrum half. And it's interesting, isn't it, with England's experienced squad. We spoke about all the caps they have in the 22 here this evening. 9 of this Canadian 15. It's their 5th start today. Well, it just about works out for Canada. Good opening from them. Harvey has come off her right wing. She's tackled by Rachel Burford. Lee. Right start here from Canada. Belchus. Didn't quite work out with JC Murphy. Chuck. Should be easy enough for Danielle Nolly Waterman. 3rd World Cup final. Comes down to experience. There is only one winner here this evening.
Yeah, so much more experience in the England line. It's certainly experience of big, big games. Canada put some great phases of play together there, but in the end, not a very well-directed kick from Mandy Marchuk gives a little bit of respite to England, but not the best clearance kick in the world. So still a good attacking position for Canada.
Team's run in England yesterday. to relax and enjoy the moment. Been told it was a relaxed camp this morning.
Going forward.
Knocked forward by Canada, but that's been Canada's approach the whole tournament, hasn't it? Ratier gives that freedom to his players to go out and express themselves.
Yeah, there's no fear of failure, no fear of making mistakes in this Canada team. And you like to think that England will want to fight that fire with fire. Both teams really have a go here. They do look, both teams, pretty relaxed for a World Cup final, it's fair to say. Which hopefully should lead to some good attacking rugby.
Saw that freedom, didn't we? From Magali Harvey's try against France. Underneath their own posts. Fascinating scrum battle. Canada walking round. Canada definitely got the better of England in the pool game.
Yeah, so England will be very, very, very happy with that call. They didn't get the best of the scrummage in the pool game, and to get the first penalty at scrum time is a big deal for them. Canada won't be happy about that, that's for sure.
One, straight.
Smith wanted a reaction from his scrum against Ireland. Absolutely marvelised Ireland.
Here we go. Sit.
Gilchrist. Now England set up the driving more. First time really they've been in Canada's half. Natasha Hunt preferred to Latoya Mason. Sees the ball from Marley Packer, the only two changes, and it's Waterman. Merchant outside, Waterman decides to come inside. Hunt just probing that blind side again, Merchant puts the ball inside. Rather fortunate, comes off a Canadian hand.
Yeah, England showing their intent early on as well, going for it.
Captain,
really having a go on the outside.
Scramble line. Line out.
They'll be wanting to test the Canadian back three, England, with Zussman coming into 15. Hasn't played much this tournament. Elise Hallery's had such a good tournament and did so well at 9, but to move her out of 15 is a big deal this late stage in the tournament.
Both sides looking for front foot ball. Both achieved it so well in the semi-final. It's Canada just putting pressure on England's line out.
Yeah, these early forward exchanges are so significant.
Yeah, let's go.
Two big packs, two proud packs, two packs that are used to dominating the opposition. Who can get the upper hand here?
Kelly Russell got a hand in there. And this time it's Murphy. You may well have first blood at scrum. That's two line-outs now. And Belchos meets Maggie Alfonsi. Over 50 tackles in the last two games for England's open side. Kay Wilson decides to allow it to bounce. Waterman, little slip from Canada. Such a lovely combination in that England back three. The power of Merchant, the speed of Wilson, and the feet of Waterman. Katie McLean, Maggie Alfonsi had a juggle. She's given the penalty away. Canada very good at the breakdown. We've seen that throughout this tournament.
Canada playing Maggie Alfonsi at her own game. It's usually Maggie Alfonsi that's there in those positions stealing the ball, but this time Karen Pakan getting the better of Alfonsi.
Numbers at the line? Yeah, when you decide to have the meeting and pull someone out, I'm not going to play it.
Quickly onto the ball, Canada, aren't they? It's backs or forwards. And the line out is functioning very well for Canada. Shots. Heavy hit on her and she drops the ball, and he's there about Alfonsi, and it's Hunt through the middle. Natasha Hunt, former winger. Rocky Clark can't take it. Katie McLean can. Quick hands outside. Knocked that on, no, says the referee. Burford is allowed to go on. Saw that from Natasha Hunt against Samoa, didn't we? Scored 2 tries that day. Taylor, Marley Packer. Canada again filling the space over the ball very well, and they will feel that penalty is unjust, but referee's decision is final, and Katie McLean immediately points to the 6, and why not when you have Emily Scarratt in your ranks, and she is kicking so well in this World Cup.
Emily Scarratt's been so accurate, so by her stands an easy chance. There goes Natasha Hunt, picks her head up, sees a little gap, but she's too quick for the rest of the team. Rochelle Clark desperately trying to catch up with her, but no one's on quite the same wavelength, so they couldn't get off her shoulder. Ball goes backwards in the end, fortunately for England.
Emily Scarratt, 78% kick success in this World Cup. No trouble at all for Emily Scarratt. First points of this World Cup final for England.
As a kicker, always nice to get the first one under your belt, and as a team, always nice to get those first points on the board.
It's a nice easy one as well, wasn't it, for Scarratt? Right in front of the uprights.
Ball's available!
England far better at restart time. They have been in the tournament, they've struggled in that area. Hemming. England not committing too many people to the breakdown at the moment, and Canada in the rub of the green, and there we see the other side of Emily Scarratt's kicking game.
Yeah, good use by England of the kick from a little bit further out wide. If you've got Emily Scarratt lurking out there at 13, why not get the ball a bit wider to her? Use the distance she's got on her kick to boot it down the other side of the pitch. Great field position. England will be very, very happy with that, which has come directly off Canadian kickoff.
Taylor just about gets a hand to it. Packer did well to get round Pino Reid. Here's her opposite number, Rocky Clark. McLean. Quinn is quickly up on the England number 10, Marchuk. Try against Ireland. Good try, wasn't it, from Kat Marchuk as well in that final. Semi-final, I should say. Fleetwood. Well, they came of age against Ireland.
14 offside.
Burford. Magali Harvey's offside anyway, but Waterman will take full advantage. Kay Wilson has an opportunity on the outside, well marshalled by Canada in the end. Zussman was there, but Canada were offside. It was Magali Harvey who will come back for the penalty.
Magali Harvey could see there were a lot of players lined up for England. She was going to be outnumbered in defence, so she flew up out of the line, but was there too early. England nearly turned it to their advantage.
So often the way in games, both teams just feeling each other out at the moment. Atmosphere is rather gone down a notch or two after France beat Ireland to 3rd place earlier on. It was an incredible atmosphere in that game around here at Jean-Bouin.
Kelly, 5.
Absolutely amazing atmosphere, and good to see that most of the French supporters have stayed for the final, so we can feel the atmosphere gradually cranking up.
McGilchrist off the top ball. Katie McLean to Fonsi.
Hands off!
England forwards coming round the corner quickly, but it's not particularly quick ball for McLean. Sarah Hunter doesn't do the flash stuff, but works so hard for this team. She's stripped of the ball.
Nice hit!
Just when things are building nicely for England.
Advantage over.
Emily Belchos, 19 years of age.
Play on.
England We get things going again. Merchant. Nolly Waterman. It was a knock on. But England want to take advantage. Katie McLean. Merchant outside. England just beginning to get into their stride here. Burford in at first receiver. Fonzie knocks it on.
Both teams playing on the edge, aren't they? That quick throw from Cat Merchant to Danielle Waterman, very, very nearly intercepted. Great to see the teams playing at pace and wanting to keep the pace of the game up, but goodness me, living on the edge.
An incredible start. World Cup final and all it's grind out the penalties, kick the goals. Both teams playing with ambition here. We hoped that that would be the case.
Yeah.
Canada, really nothing to lose. The aim certainly coming into this World Cup was to get into the semi-finals. Mission accomplished.
Come over here.
And that 3 or 4 minutes against France that turned the game on its head.
Yeah, and this scrum could be a great indication of Canada's ambition. England have a blind side to defend, so they've pushed Katie McLean over to that blind side. That just leaves 2 centres, Rachel Burford and Emily Scarratt, guarding this midfield. Canada have the whole midfield plus Magali Harvey on the outside lurking. I wonder if they're brave enough to try and get the ball out there.
Free kick. They come this way anyway. Burke. Marchuk, oh, she's through the tackle of Scarratt, and then Scarratt gets back. They're trying to turn the ball over as well. Certainly making amends, isn't she, Emily Scarratt there? It's handed off by Marchuk, went far too high. Got back, not happy with that. Back to her feet and turn the ball over. Now there's some space for England, and it's Burford up against a second row, and it's Waterman, and it's Merchant outside. Nolly Waterman to Cat Merchant. Parkwin's pace. We have seen it all World Cup from the open side.
Open red!
Try-saving tackle from Canada's open side. But brilliant heads-up rugby from England. What a start to this final. Tamara Taylor. Things have slowed down for England. Clean just slips. Did have a knock to the knee, didn't she, earlier in the tournament? Didn't start against Canada. Again, it's Canada over the ball so quickly. Allery breaks away. Burke, with relief. Too much change out of the exchange with Maggie Alfonsi.
Use it!
England will be happy to keep Canada down in their own half. And again, England have turned the ball over. The other side looking after possession, a breakdown. It's a brilliant offload from Burford off the floor. And then Natasha Hunt kicks ahead. Where's this one going to bounce? It's bouncing everywhere. But into somebody's hand. And it was Kelly Russell, Canadian captain, getting back there in the foot race against Cat Merchant.
This game's got it all. You expect teams in a World Cup final to be tucking it up the jumper, playing it safe, but goodness me, neither team is doing that. It seems an age since it happened, but we have to draw attention to Karen Paquin's cover tackle. You've got Danielle Waterman and Cat Merchant running at you. The open side flanker gets across there. What a phenomenal tackle that was.
There have been so many moments already in this final. That, the stellar moment so far. Definitely England 8 points, if not 10. But it's an England scrum, some 6 or 7 metres shy of the Canadian try line.
It's Super today. So let's just try to keep your feet up.
It was a
And as well.
very similar
I know.
position
It's
try,
the
wasn't it,
grass, just keep
that
your feet up,
England
a bit
scored
closer.
from against Canada in the pool stages. In the second half, after Canada had the best of a lot of the scrummage exchanges until that point, you can't see them getting the better of the Canadian scrum to quite that degree this early in the game, though.
Sarah Hunter's brilliant control of the base of the scrum in that pool game. Just 8 days ago. It's always fascinating when you re-meet a team you played in the pool stages. Natasha Hunt goes. She hit the ball on the line. If she has, it's a brilliant piece of quick thinking from Mo Hunt.
Eric, we're going to look for a try.
We will
or
go
no try.
to the television match official.
It certainly looked very, very close from here, didn't it? We'll see again in a second, but that's what Natasha Hunt's picked for. She really picks the pace of the game up. She taps, she goes, she drives those little legs, lands, just places the ball. Is it on the line or isn't it? Might be a millimetre short. So close. Really tough one for the TMO to call. Certainly not when she first lands, but it's the place of the ball. Is that Canadian foot in the way?
And who is the Canadian player with a foot in the way again? It's Karen Parquin. Just short for my money. Eric Corsair, television match official, having a long, hard look at this. So important to get these calls right. And the technology is there in a World Cup final.
That's the angle, isn't it? Is whether there's a millimetre of the ball on the line or not.
And he has to touch the line, of course.
I think when it rolls back there's definitely a hand under it the second time, isn't there? It's the first time.
Yep. Ball is up. Ball is up. No try. 5 metre scrum to white. Okay, no try.
It is held up by Canada. Not met particularly well by the hundreds and thousands of England fans who've made the trip out here. But again, Canadian number 7, that's at least 10 points she's saved her side already in this game. Got 20 minutes in.
It's her pace, isn't it? Getting pace of reaction of brain and pace of foot. Just got there a millimetre later, a second later, a millimetre short, and it would have been a try. Another chance though for England.
Still pressure on Canada, when the pressure comes in, that England front row. Incorrect angle, the referee says, from Rocky Clark. And Marchuk just calms things down. Here we go, Sude, the scrum doctor.
I'll definitely take the referee's word for it.
Knock on.
One school of thought would say that Rocky Clark initiated the angle. Others would say that it was the Canadian tie head, but the referee's decision is final. More often than not, will even themselves out.
Yeah, okay.
Real contest of the line out though, isn't it? It's a real contest in every inch of the pitch at the moment. The line out, the scrummage, and both teams just going for it. Really having a go in attack.
Binds!
Can't believe it's only 3-0. Such ambition being shown by both teams.
Take him there.
Fonzie takes Russell. Zussman up from fullback. And they try and clear their lines, but it's great positioning, great covering of the ground from Waterman. Belchos makes the call and the catch. Parquin suspected Canada to come out of the traps very, very quickly. Will they tire in the latter stages of this game? Rather like England 4 years ago, very much a starting 15, but not too much underneath it. It's been a big part of England's preparations for this World Cup in 2014 to build a squad. It doesn't matter who's on the field.
She wasn't part of the tackle. That was
The same processes and plans are carried out.
It's breathless stuff, isn't it? Just calming down very, very slightly. A couple of scrummages. Chance for the players to catch their breath. Chance for the spectators to catch their breath.
You and me. Just into the second quarter. This Rugby World Cup final of 2014. It has been a groundbreaking World Cup for the women's game. Katie McLean. Parkwood again with a crucial tackle. McGilchrist, nice dummy from her. Clark, head down, burrowing away towards that Canadian line. Now it's Hemming's turn. Hunt, Fleetwood, knew the tackle was coming. It was from Mandy Marchuk. We're playing advantage, and it's Packer who's through. Everybody stopped for a moment. The advantage was coming to England. Packer said, no, I'll play on. Tamara Taylor has to quickly come in at scrum half. Canada are pouring through, aren't they? Every single sniff they get at the breakdown, but we will come back for the advantage. Canada were offside.
Marley Packer was very, very close there, wasn't she? Canada comes through before the ball's out. Marley Packer sees that stopped the Canadian defence and charges through. Magli Harvey and Zussman between them bring her down.
Yeah, and I haven't had a call, so.
Marley Packer, one of those two changes. At 6, Alex Matthews started in the semi-final, didn't she? And it was such a hard decision to lead Heather Fisher out of the 22 altogether for Gary Street. I suspect one of the hardest conversations he's had to have for 4 years.
Very tough on Heather Fisher, who missed the final, of course, in 2010 with injury. But Packer has had a fantastic tournament, and Matthews, and he could have chosen, of course, to leave Packer on the bench because she had such a good impact, didn't she, in the semi-final. But shown already the start of this game, the impact that she can have.
Emily Scarratt doesn't miss from there. England will be happy just to keep that scoreboard ticking over with all the territory they've had. 6 points they are up, but there are chances out there, aren't there? More than likely, Maggie Alfonsi's last game of international rugby, and she's playing like it as well, isn't she? As Waterman just knocks the ball on, I think, looking ahead, wasn't she? She could see the space in front of her, just another snatched at the pass.
Yeah, and it was a snatch pass to her because it was just trying to get outside the corner of the defence, so it wasn't quite where they wanted the pass to be. She couldn't quite take it, but coming back to your point on Maggie Alfonsi, she's made probably hundreds of tackles already in this tournament. So inspirational for England, always at the top of the tackle count for England, and they're always big tackles that push the team forwards.
That's fine like that. I'm happy with that.
England felt in 2010 let the emotion stifle their performance. They're playing with a Canadian freedom, if you like, in this final.
Interesting lineup from Canada. Magli Harvey very, very wide out here.
Pressure tackle again from Maggie Alfonsi. Big high five with Marley Packer. Another reason Marley Packer was chosen. Canada hadn't seen too much of her. They're all about her now, don't they?
Yeah, and they're both very, very quick off the base of the scrum. Alfonsi and Packer, and that was one of the things that Canada had over France when they played in the semi-final. The back row weren't getting up in the faces of Emily Belchos, and inexperienced fly half quickly enough. That's never going to happen with Maggie Alfonsi on the back of the scrum.
It's been quite brilliant. Emily Belchos quite a way down the pecking order a year or so ago. Hunt practiced that hour after hour after hour. It's a lovely kick down the tram lines from Natasha Hunt.
Yeah, it was a very narrow blind side, so they were never really going to get over the gain line by running it there, England. But very well placed kick from Natasha Hunt puts the pressure back on to Canada.
Please, step. Keep moving, keep moving. Thank you.
Shot of Gary Street
Take him back.
in the stands. Marchuk. Maggie Alfonsi, she just went past Belchos. Just gave her a nudge to let her know she'll be in her face all evening. Allery. Here is Belchos. It's not affecting the game so far, is it? 19 years of age. Came into this squad about 18 months ago. Most of this team did. So many new caps in the 2013 Nations Cup. They beat England, of course. England off the back of a 3-test series against New Zealand in New Zealand. That rather kick-started this Canadian surge towards this World Cup, and now surge towards this final. As Stephanie Bernier, heartbreak for her going down with that knee injury. Alfonso Ratier look on.
What a tough game to watch this would be. This will be for Stephanie Bernier. So difficult. The first time your team has ever made it to a World Cup final. You're sidelined with injury, but you're desperate for your team to win. Nothing you can do about it.
Had fun in the last few days going around in a motorised cart and Marcosi.
She's through the middle.
Coming through the middle. Hunt not happy about it.
Through the middle. She's fine.
England at times not protecting the ball. Suspect they would like to.
Yeah, very well defended. More
Yeah.
by Canada. It's Maria Sampson, isn't it, getting in there and putting the pressure on. Natasha Hunt was trying to wrestle the ball out, just knocks it on.
Seconds. Back roll. 6. Crouch.
Interesting defensively. England have always got Kay Wilson hanging quite far back, which is always a gamble when you've got a player like Magali Harvey that you're marking. As it is, Emily Scarratt's got a lot of territory to defend out here. And the Canadian backs lined up just waiting for this ball off the scrummage.
Well, Emily Scarratt does have a stride of about 1.5 miles. Just cover the ground so well.
Canada have thrown Mandy Marchuk up the middle a couple of times. Zussman a couple of times has kicked. You've got to think they're trying to lure England into thinking that's where they're attacking today. And one of these minutes, they're going to give the ball to Magali Harvey in a little bit of space on the outside.
Just comes down on that far side again. Parkwin, they've changed up the back row move. Kelly Russell so often taking it from 8. This time, it's the open side. Mandy Marchuk herself, the veteran, in her 3rd World Cup. 2 Sevens World Cups as well. As Canada break. It's a rare foray into England territory, isn't it? Just as they make the break, they knock that ball on.
Yeah, well worked move with Devane coming through the middle. Just gets knocked on.
There you go.
In the contact area.
For all the ambition and adventure of both these sides, still no try. Just the 2 penalties for Emily Scarratt.
And that's thanks in large part to Karen Pacan, isn't it? Her cover defence was just phenomenal earlier on.
Good shove from Canada. Hunt to Waterman. 32-minute mark now in this final. Taylor has played plenty of rugby at number 8. Saw that in the semi-finals. Burford, lovely pass onto Scarratt, and here's Wilson. Flicks it inside to Katie McLean. Good enveloping tackle by who? Karen Puckwer. Fleetwood, Hunter. Now there's space. Lovely dummy from Taylor. It's Alfonsi. It's Waterman. It's Danielle Waterman. There's the first try, and it's for England. The ambition pays off. Accuracy to the fore.
It really does. In the end, that was a series of 2-on-1s, very, very well executed by England. They moved the ball down one way, kept the ball alive there when Katie McLean took it in. Set it up really well here. Mo Hunt gets her hands on the ball, and it's out to Fleetwood, to Hunter, to Tamara Taylor. Little show and go there from Tamara Taylor. Then Alfonsi and Waterman into the corner, but that's the second time in 2 games I think we've seen from Tamara Taylor, England's number 4, that show and go. But a series of very, very simple 2-on-1s from England is what made that try happen. The awareness and the accuracy of those simple passes.
Lovely pass from Burford on this left-hand side.
I saw your comments, Alex, as well, but I think the issue on this side is a bit more, okay?
Her 11th World Cup game in a row for Danielle Waterman. She has struggled with injury in the last few years, but this is where she wanted to be today in this final, and now she has a try as well. A tester for Scarratt. Didn't strike that at all well, Emily Scarratt.
Okay. It's just simple passes, isn't it? Tamara Taylor playing with her head up, sees that the defender's moved off her. 2-on-1, 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 a series of those. And Waterman's pretty pleased with that.
Lively character around the squad. Back up. Miscommunication with Hunt. In the end it works out, doesn't she? Uses her pace. Now the communication gets back on track. Tackle from Blackwood trying to turn Packer over, and it's Canada who concede the penalty, and England.
Ball, when you get caught, just stay down.
First try, just settle the nerves down. Scoreboard looks a lot healthier, doesn't it now? 11 points to 0.
Katie McLean making sure with that clearance kick, just making sure she hits the line rather than going for too much distance. Very, very wise. The last thing you want to be doing is kicking a loose kick right down the throat of Magali Harvey out on this Canadian right wing.
And it's England with the line out. Playing with composure, aren't they, England? At this moment, brilliant athletes, the Canadians. They're hurrying England. Especially a breakdown time, Scarratt. Training ground move, looked really slick as well from England. Just hadn't been hitting their straps earlier in the pool stages. The last couple of years, I think it's fair to say, really disruptions with players going off to sevens and what have you, but hitting their form at exactly the right time.
Yeah, they've certainly built throughout this tournament. Their last performance in the semi-final, without a doubt, their best performance of the tournament. But Canada now harrying very, very well at the breakdown, trying to put Natasha Hunt under as much pressure as possible, and they've won a good scrummage here through doing that.
Pino Reid, wasn't it? MP. She's known. England, big scrum.
Same tunnel.
Comes out the tunnel. Rookie can't quite believe it. Huge scrum from England.
Yeah, when you think the degree to which the Canadian scrum was overrunning the England scrum at times in the pool game, much more parity here.
Canada, rather like England, have built up to this moment, haven't they? Their performances have been getting better and better. And like England, with the same players.
I need you. I need you to take the gap. Take the gap. I don't want you head on head.
I think there's any love lost down in that front row. The England scrum was not happy about going backwards for a majority of the game. Certainly majority of the first half in the pool stage game. Again, England put the shove on.
Same again. Same tunnel.
England's forwards trying to hammer the point home, aren't they, to Canada?
Yeah, England are just getting a little shove on there, but the ball's coming out the tunnel. Reset again, but it's psychologically the England front row will feel like they're just getting the edge over the Canadian front row here, which will do them the world of good, and Canadian front row will not be happy about it and certainly be wanting to get one back on them.
Set!
It's a big shove from England. Russell, Parquet, she's your round packer. Different matter, trying to get around Marchuk. Sampson, stopped in her tracks by Alfonsi. Belchos in that midfield. Marchuk's line was brilliant. Mandy Marchuk still going. Here come Canada just before half-time. Belchos, JC Murphy, Hallery has a go around the sides. No space there, like there was against France. Hilary Leith now. Fonzie tries to steal that ball. Canadian ruck is good though. The French crowd cheering on Canada. Marchuk just didn't have the support around her that she was requiring. And it's Hunter, amongst others, with a tackle, pushing Canada back. First time this crowd have really started to cheer in this first half of this final.
Shout about Leila Rouge, they've done a very good job of adapting the usual chant that we hear in France.
Belchos flies one out to Harvey. Donovan is with her on this right-hand side, the left winger. Canada building now, need to show some composure. Above their rugby experience, Sampson.
6 offside.
Harley Packer is offside. Where will the referee go to? Just on the 22. And it's fairly straight in front of the sticks, and it will give Canada a point.
Yeah, very, very kickable penalty here, just in front of the posts. We've seen Canada tap and go a few within range of the try line in this tournament, but not this time. In a World Cup final, you want to get some points on the board before you go in for the half-time break.
We'll give Canada points if Magali Harvey can get this one over. There's a footballing background as Magali Harvey. Not an orthodox style, I think it's fair to say.
Certainly the technique of a footballer rather than a rugby kicker, but it certainly worked in the semi-final when she got the touchline conversion that made all the difference there.
Well, she sprinted 80 metres down the field. Has to be try of the year. She positions that ball on the kicking tee. Couple of steps back. And it's a good flat from Magali Harvey. She does get some points back for Canada. Ambition from both sides in that first half, but it is England who have control, and they lead 11 points to 3 here at the Stade Jean Bouin. Has come on as England come down the tunnel. More of the same for them. They wouldn't care if they won this one by 1 point. Neither would Canada, of course. Today it's not about performance. It's about having more points on the scoreboard than the other team come 80 minutes. Lovely try from England in that first half. From Nolly Waterman. England looked composed, looked relaxed. Wasn't the case in 2010. And they lost their third final in a row.
One of these teams is 40 minutes from history. At the moment, England in the driving seat, 11-3 up. But now it's about keeping composure for England. For Canada, it's about getting hold of this ball early on and making real inroads into this English defence.
"40 minutes from World Cup glory. Will it be England? Will it be Canada? Just 8 points separate the two teams. England going from left to right. Canada wait. Try and get some more territory in this second half. Try and press England. Have been doing well at line-out time and the breakdown as well. Here we go then. The second half is underway. England with the lead. It was Canada who grabbed momentum right to the end of that first 40 minutes with the Magali Harvey penalty. They won't stop playing Canada. We know that about them. We know that about their coach, Monsieur Ratier. Rhea Sampson, who's gone off in that second row for Canada. We were playing at advantage. Tamara Taylor not rolling away from the tackle.
Yeah, good chance for Canada to clear their lines, but the ambition from them again, running Mandy Marchuk up out of their own 22. There you can see Tamara Taylor doesn't get out of the way quickly enough.
Have to be accurate, don't you, if you're going to use that tactic. And Canada so far in this game, in this tournament, through their veteran player, 29-year-old from Vancouver, have been very accurate in doing that. She scored tries against Spain and Samoa as well.
Yeah, high risk, high reward rugby running it from there. But the high risk rugby's worked out for Canada. That semi-final try, Magali Harvey running the length of the pitch. So they're not going to stop now. Not straight at the line out though, so handed the ball back to England.
Dull evening here at the Stade Jean-Bouin in Paris. These latter stages of this World Cup have been played. The lights are on here. Got rather subdued. They whipped themselves into a frenzy after France's victory over Ireland to grab the bronze medal, as it were. Loose pass and Burford picks up. Placed that ball really well away from Canada. It's all those tiny details, isn't it? England, majority of the time in that first 40 minutes, were getting right, but Canada have turned the ball over, and good field position as well.
Yeah, it was good Canadian defence that made that, wasn't it? First of all, at the base of the scrum, putting Natasha Hunt under so much pressure. Lisa Allery really getting in the way of the pass, and then at the breakdown, pressurising England again.
Yeah, no time off though. We'll just give it
It'll be interesting to see if Andrea Burke runs this hard line into the England midfield, or whether it be Marchuk outside of Magali Harvey is just floating dangerously behind Belchos, the fly half. And Scrum had dominance towards the end of that first half. Ball wasn't out. Marley Packer broke early, and it's a penalty for Canada. And if it's a decision here, they are going for goal. And if Canada
go here or backwards.
Scored just before half-time and just after half-time, it would give them a huge amount of confidence. And the more that Canada trouble that scoreboard, the more pressure mentally comes onto England, with all the history of losing those finals.
That's exactly right. England are thinking, we've been in all these finals, we're more experienced, we're 8 points up, we're in the driving seat. But as Canada gradually claw their way back into the game, a little bit of doubt can start creeping into the minds of the players. It's a big kick here for Magali Harvey.
It's a long way out as well. Not had as many kicks as Emily Scarratt in this tournament, but same kick percentage coming into this one. 35 metres the distance. 55 points so far in this World Cup. Can she make it 58? She can. Snuck over. Canada strike first in this second half.
Yeah, she doesn't have quite the distance on her kicks off the tee as Emily Scarratt, but at the moment she absolutely has the accuracy. She knew that one was within her range, so she took it on, got the 3 points for Canada. So the last 6 points have gone to Canada. England's lead's gone down from 11 to just 5 points. Good work from Canada.
Knew it'd take quite a lot to get Canada to go away. Very tough physically and mentally, this Canadian side. Belchos showing that up against Scarratt. Mack. Just come onto the field in this second half and just knocks that ball on.
Yeah, just a little knock on in the contact area.
Okay. Time off now.
Anita McLean is receiving some attention to that left knee. A change at hooker for Canada. Laura Russell, sister of Kelly, the captain.
Yeah, nice.
Kim Donaldson goes off. Toronto Nomads hooker. Her father and her sister play. It's family connection. There's been a huge amount of messages and social media messages to this Canadian side. The press officer, I don't think he slept, so they got themselves out of the pool stages. That dramatic draw.
Yeah, the time difference probably not helping him there, is it? Up half the night, dealing with requests from back home.
Studious fellow, though, is Brian. And he won't mind, will he? I apologise if you do catch any slightly unsavoury language on the referee's mic. This is a World Cup final. The stakes are massive. It means so much to these amateurs. And I say that with the greatest respect. McLean. Crossfield, where's this going? It's off the hand of Magali Harvey. Now Scarratt says no, we'll set up an attack here. Kyle felt Magali Harvey was blocked slightly, but it's out to Hunter. Good quick ball from England again. McLean hemming. Rare poor pass from Mo Hunt, wasn't it, to Katie McLean?
Yeah, and then Katie McLean shipped it on, probably just best to take it in those circumstances, but a risky crossfield kick from England. If there's one player you don't want to kick straight to, it's Magali Harvey. In the end, it didn't quite go straight to her, but it was very, very close. Emily Scarratt cleaned up well and made some good ground in the end, but England need to be very, very careful if they're going to kick into that channel.
Can we start on a replacement on the sideline?
Waterman.
Blood replacement.
Smack on the cheek, didn't she? And it's like she's going to go off for a blood replacement here.
Sure they'll get that sorted out as quickly as possible and get her back on the pitch.
Justin Hughes. We'll get the needle and thread out. It's Kerry Large. No, it's Claire Allen, of course, coming on.
Yeah, and of course we saw Claire Allen playing against Magali Harvey. Allen out on that left wing against Canada in the pool matches. Kay Wilson's played a huge amount of rugby at fullback, both at club and for England.
Yeah, Kay Wilson moves to fullback, doesn't she? Played plenty of rugby there. Kaylee Russell went one way, had to come back the other way, and it's Burt tackled by Maggie Alfonsi. See why her nickname is the Machine. Hallery leaves it for the forwards. That's Leaf. Had some time playing in England herself for Saracens. Here's her front row partner, Pino Reid. Kelly Russell again. Oh, a huge work rate. Belchos flies inside. It's Donovan. Canada just beginning to grow in this game, aren't they? They really are. Hunter, important challenge for her, and then immediately she looks to move that ball as well, Sarah Hunter.
Yeah, she got up there in the faces of the Canadian attack very quickly, Sarah Hunter, and then ball went loose. She grabbed hold of it, snaffled it for England. Much, much tighter exchanges at the beginning of this second half than there were at the beginning of the first half. It's almost like both teams know that they're closer to that little piece of history being made, and they're just starting to tighten up a little bit.
Yes, certainly not the expansive free play we saw in the first 40 minutes. They know what is at stake. A few of these players essentially contracted on sevens contracts, 24 Canadian women. A few of them not here, disappointingly, from that sevens squad. And it's Canada with a march on at the scrum this time. And what a march on it is as well. Huge scrum from Canada. And Kelly Russell puts the ball into the hands of Magali Harvey. And Canada have got a bit between their teeth at the moment.
Hands up!
Hallery, Leaf. Nice offload. Those two props do combine superbly well. Belchos, Burke. Snatched to the pass, didn't she? Just when things were beginning to build for Canada.
Yeah, she's had an excellent World Cup, Andrea Burke. Unusual mistake from her. But again, we saw Kelly Russell taking the quick tap. She loved to do that, get the game moving quickly, chose not to go for the territory, tap and go. Exciting stuff, but it's not worked out this time.
Is that the right decision? Is that what you're saying? Is that the right decision in a World Cup final?
I think I might have gone for the line. Canada's line out's not a bad line out, get territory, set up a really good attacking position, camped not far from England's try line, but hey, Kelly, it's come off for Kelly Russell a few times in this tournament, and you can't fault Canada's ambition.
Now England sets off, half an hour left in this World Cup final. Natasha Hunt into Merchant. Look at the ground that Hunt has made here. Katie McLean steps into command the position, and it's just getting a little bit tense out there for both teams, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is. We didn't see these errors in the first half. Both teams just snatching at the ball a little bit. Natasha Hunt certainly not snatching at the ball. The pace she showed there, the pace of the brain to take that quick tap as quickly as possible and really take Canada on. A handoff on Emily Belt just there. Kat Merchant is with her in support.
Waterman back on the field. Wilson back onto that left wing. And Claire Allen back onto the bench. She missed the last World Cup, didn't she? Claire Allen. Waterman will have a shiner in the morning. Russell tries to go around. Nagi Alfonsi. Easier said than done. Scarratt had the call from Kay Wilson, didn't she? Canada careful not to go off their feet here. Advantage for England is over. Canada coming round the side. Yes, you could see it, couldn't you? Just too tempting. The cookie jar was open and they just couldn't help but put the hand in. Know the feeling very well myself.
Yeah, they've been harrying very well at the breakdown, Canada, but overstepped the mark there. Handed England a chance to get some good territory. It's so tempting, isn't it, when you're on the fringes, you just want to see the ball there, want to get your hands on it.
This French crowd applauding a catch. One of the members in the crowd. Slightly more than any of the play in this second half so far. Thousands have stayed to watch, certainly. Record crowd for a women's game here this afternoon at Jean-Bouin. Nothing really to spark them into life. McLean, and it's Burford and Scarratt. Waterman overrun the pass. Things just not clicking for England again now.
Yeah, the pass from Burford to Scarratt pushed Scarratt out. She just didn't have the time to get the next pass into Waterman. Waterman in danger of blocking the tackle off there. The referee ruled because there was a tackler there who could make the tackle. There was no blocking, but a knock-on in the end at the breakdown.
Laura Keats and Rebecca Essex come onto the field for England. Changes in that front five then. Sophie Hemming goes off. Jo McGilchrist goes off. 63rd cap for Jo McGilchrist today. Cap 71 for Sophie Hemming. It was a medical miracle that she even made this tournament. 6-week injury, healed in 3. Hunter's caught Russell and then Alfonsi's over the ball and it's bobbling around. Who's grabbed hold of it? It's Sarah Hunter in the end and Marley Packer. It's a real scramble at the breakdown. Key phase of the game now. Feel the next person to score really will take a little bit extra control of this game. Just 5 points the difference.
Yeah, it's got much tighter, hasn't it? The play much closer. Both teams really throw numbers into the breakdown. Both teams not wanting to risk the wide, expansive passes.
May well take a piece of bravery to grab hold of this game. Penalty Canada. Swung the other way, hasn't it? The battle of the scrum, that first half. England were driving Canada back, not the same in this second half.
Yeah, the penalties at scrum time going Canada's way, the nudge when it's coming going Canada's way. They'll be mightily relieved, Canada, to be able to clear their lines, get some good possession here.
Essex putting huge amounts of pressure on Murphy.
17!
But it's the blindside flanker wearing red, the Canadian, who takes the line out on Canada. Their forwards feeling they've got the edge on England here. This all came from the penalty of the scrum. And look at the march from Canada now. Up to that England 10-metre line. goes to ground now. Advantage to Canada. Marchuk. Fonzie. How on earth she has covered the ground for that driving maul to there, I have no idea. Knock on, Amy Perrott, known for long advantages, comes back, and this will be too far out for Magali Harvey.
Yeah, it's another penalty from Marley Packer. Marley Packer just overstepping the mark a little bit for England. We've seen, I think, 3 penalties from her. Now, they've got to be careful in games like this. Giving penalties away gives the opposition territory, gives the opposition the front foot, gives the opposition the chance to go for points, as Canada are doing again.
They are going to give the opportunity to Magali Harvey. Colette McCauley comes on with the kicking tee and a few words of advice as well as the crowd break into Allez Le Rouge.
Yeah, this is at the very, very edge of Magali Harvey's range, so Canada will want to be chasing this kick, because if it doesn't quite make it to the post, they want to put huge amount of pressure on England to clear their lines here.
As England begin to tense up in this second half, it's Canada just beginning to grow. No expectation. Harvey giving it a huge whack, and it's over.
Said it was right on the edge of her range, didn't we?
Brilliant kick from Magali Harvey. The last one snuck over. That just crept over. Fabulous kick from Magali Harvey. Always plays the game with a smile on her face. That has made things very, very interesting indeed. 2 points the difference.
Certainly has. The last 9 points have gone to Canada now. And that's exactly what Canada didn't want. They've just crept their way within 2 points of England, give a penalty away with the very, very next play. The coaches on the sidelines will be tearing their hair out.
Time and time again, don't we?
I can't understand.
So many forms of rugby. Just mentally, you chop off after having scored points. Do your best not to, and you've handed the opportunity back to Emily Scarratt. We said earlier on in the game, didn't we? 2 teams playing with ambition, and now it's coming down to the battle of the kickers. Magali Harvey now a minute later. Emily Scarratt with the opportunity to respond. Flags are up, straight through the uprights from Emily Scarratt. That lead just creeps out again for England.
Emily Scarratt saying, anything you can do, Magali Harvey, I can do better, or at least just the same, as slightly closer in probably, but just as accurate.
Just stems the flow, doesn't it? Remember, Emily Scarratt's conversion for the Nolly Waterman try in that first half was an awful kick. She'll be pleased to get that one out of the system. Long time since she's put the ball on the tee. It just stems that flow from Canada from an England perspective. Katie McLean.
17.
Scarratt again. It's huge boot downfield. Sussman and Harvey. This is where she is so dangerous. Not going through there, says England's vice-captain, Sarah Hunter. Laura Keats with the tackle. Russell into Leaf. Belchos. Canada through again, Marchuk. Can't take it. Now it's England's opportunity. Want to take the advantage. Essex. Rocky Clark, she does that so well, doesn't she? Just calms things down, regenerate the attack. Waterman, lovely angle.
Hold. Use it! Bandages over to hospital.
Croker has come on the field, wearing 16 for England. Fleetwood is off. Clark, held back, isn't she? England going into their own players. The Canadian bench looks on. Tense, edgy affair now, isn't it? Into the final quarter of this game. Nearly 62 minutes on the clock. England with a 5-point lead.
Yeah, England certainly not playing with quite the width they played with in the first half. Trying to play it tight to keep control of the game, but it's not quite the game that they're used to, making errors. First error came from Mandy Marchuk there. England played, referee played the advantage, England played on, in the end ended up going into their own player.
Hold 7.
Russell. Ranieri, Belchos. Thrown to the ground.
7, release! Use it.
Canada just beginning to build again. Have no fear, do they, for this England side? Packed full of previous World Cup finalists. Huge amount of international caps.
6 away!
Still, they take the game to England. Russell. Leaf. Not Reed. Goes into Alfonsi, who makes yet another tackle. Zussman. What is there for Canada again? Belchos now. She sets off. Trying to get that ball into the hands of Harvey on. He had every opportunity. Well marshalled that time by Tamara Taylor, amongst others. Not Reed, bobbles around, here in Leaf. Amazing how both these sides use their props so much in loose play. JC Murphy. Hard yards made by the blind side. And it's about that now, isn't it? Making hard yards. Making those tackles when you don't want to. Hunt. An edgy pass to Kay Wilson. She knocks it on, but advantage was being played to England.
Yeah, there'd already been a knock-on, so it was England scrumming. Just little chant from the crowd of a Leila Rouge again, with Canada getting all of this possession, but in the end, it's a knock-on from Russell. Natasha Hunt thinks about trying to run it.
Alex Matthews. Comes on the field. Marnie Packer's evening work is done. She can do no more. Now Alex Matthews, least experienced player in this 22, just 21 years of age, playing in a World Cup final.
All the players coming off the bench, it's so hard. You're on the sidelines watching, nervous, nothing you can do about it, and suddenly you've got to get yourself into the pace of the game immediately. That said, it's a much easier place to be on the pitch than watching on the sidelines.
Hunter, a determined run then, isn't it, from the base of the scrum.
Taken back.
McLean taken back in, said the referee. Zussman can't take the high ball. It was a really good chase from England. Is that one of those key moments in the game?
Yeah, it was a good chase from England, and Zussman hasn't played much rugby in this tournament. It was all Alahi in the early stages. England will, and certainly England won't want to kick down the throats of Magali Harvey, so the fullback's going to get the aerial ball, so then chase very, very well in the end to put her under pressure as well.
Not about the performance today. It's about that scoreboard, and with 66 minutes on the clock in this World Cup final, it is England who have the lead. Dangerous thing. Trying to just hold out though.
Just one score in it, just one score with Magali Harvey on the pitch. It only takes a few seconds wherever Canada are on the pitch, so not safe certainly for England to rest on their laurels here.
They know they missed a gilt-edged chance in a home World Cup 4 years ago. So determined. The pain of that final has driven them on in the last 4 years. Scarratt went wide and then came back, and the England forward so quick to get there. This is Essex now, up to the halfway line. McLean into Keats. A tackle from Blackwood.
Ball's available, yep.
McLean again. And the pass was meant for Maggie Alfonsi, but she tried to take it and knocked it on, and that's England's 10-metre line. And again, the nerves and that pressure getting to England, of course, on the Blackburns. Effectively dumped out of the semi-finals by the draw between these two sides. Most people in the media around the oval world were saying, well, it's England's now, isn't it? No one can stop them. And the pressure just piled on this England squad. Management have done their best to try and keep it away from the players. And Canada are feeding off it, aren't they? Brittany Waters. That's Laura Russell. Penalty to England. So we approach 10 minutes to go. And it's the mum, isn't it? Emma Croker.
Yeah, great to have that experience coming on the pitch at this stage of the game. And you can see how tense things are getting, the degree to which England celebrated that turnover from Emma Croker there. Good safe kick from Katie McLean. That's what they need. No need to take risks at this point.
What number? 3?
That's Claire Allen, who does come on the field. Permanent replacement for Cat Merchant. Cat Merchant, 2 finals. Will this be a winning final? Burford indecisive. There's big players, even the pressure getting to them. Emma Croker, good couple of minutes for England's replacement hooker. Hunter. Is this the time for England to build to another score? This time Alfonsi is missed out, and it's Scarratt. Waterman knocks it on.
Yeah, they just created the opening there, England, hadn't they? That time the pass from Scarratt to Waterman, just not accurate enough. When England scored that try in the first half, it's because every single one of those passes was accurate, went exactly to hand. That time, just snatched it a little bit.
Cat Merchant scored and passes from Burford, and Waterman didn't she in that semi-final against Ireland down this right-hand side. Here we are then. 10 minutes from rugby immortality. 5 points the difference. outside bets, weren't they, Canada? Making it out of the pool, let alone reaching the final. Now they are here with a sniff, and it's all this Canadian side need. Fifth final for England. Have won it once before. Not in the last 3 attempts, so Alex Matthews, stand up. Maggie Alfonsi, stand up. Penalty to England. Katie McLean has a conversation with Emily Scarratt.
Great hit from Alex Matthews that set that up. Not long been on the pitch, but really made her mark there. Maggie Alfonsi struggling a little bit, but the combination of the back row in this match and this tournament being so strong. There she is, Alex Matthews. Solid, solid hit, and then Maggie Alfonsi straight on the ball to try and steal it.
And England decide it was a measured conversation, a composure between McLean and Scarratt. Such a cool customer, Emily Scarratt. Said, no, it's too far for me. The feel correct decision. It was a good touch finder from McLean, and they go to the front, to the banker ball, to Rebecca Essex. And now this England pack. Drive Canada back. That's the 22-metre line. Hunt, McLean, here's Scarratt on a much flatter ball. Emily Scarratt! Emily Scarratt is going to go all the way! She has been brilliant all tournament, mainly with the boot, but just when England need a spark of brilliance, it's Emily Scarratt.
So fitting. Emily Scarratt has been such an important player for England in this tournament. For me, she has been one of the standout players of the tournament. Give the ball to Emily Scarratt when they're not sure what else to do here, England. Just give her flat ball. Emily Scarratt says, no, I don't think I can make the kick, but you know what I can do? I can score you a try. Put the ball in my hands and I will power through the defence over the line.
Her parents are just below us here in commentary. They are on their feet cheering their daughter on, and she might make it a 7-pointer as well. Such a dangerous runner, virtually from a standing still position, Emily Scarratt. The way that the game was going and the tenseness that England were feeling, you felt it needed a spark of brilliance. Canada do their best to chase it down, but it's a 7-pointer for Emily Scarratt. It's a 7-pointer for England. Have they now one hand on the cup?
They certainly have one hand on it, but this Canada team does not know when it's beaten. They will keep knocking on the door till the very, very last second here, and we know how dangerous they are. Canada will keep fighting here if they can get their hands on this ball.
Hunt had to wait for the passes. Plenty of body still flying into this. Kirby's on now for Canada in that front row. Just remember, for 9 of the starting players on the Canada side, this is their 5th start in 16 days. A huge physical effort for them. Waterman and Zussman collide in the air. There's any question about the commitment of the players out there. No need to question anymore.
No, that was certainly a collision from two players who've taken a few hits in this game, both of them with blood injuries. What a collision. They both just were thinking about nothing but securing that ball.
Michael, this one. Yeah. Okay. Head in. Head in.
What a moment from Emily Scarratt. Zussman is down, the clock is off. What have Canada got left? Can England see this one out?
Tough moment for Zussman to go off to get assessed and take it inside to see whether she can go back on, but there really isn't much time to go back on now. Alahi goes back to fullback where she's played most of the tournament.
Sugawara in at scrum half. Nice pass. Her first action in this World Cup final. Matthews and Taylor making tackles again for England. Canada needs something now. They've got a penalty and they're away. Sugawara, Belchos, rather alone out there. Needs some support. Flies it into Kirby.
Use it!
Just not the space around those rocks and walls that they are allowed to have against France. Good pickup from Belchos. Marchuk.
Ball's out.
Macnow, she tries her luck.
Play on.
Laura Keats with the tackle
Turn over
for
now.
England. They turn this ball over, have they, England? Final minutes here.
Team going forward.
Canada still going forward. Still possession is with them.
Yeah, Maggie Alfonso got her hands on the ball, I think, but in the end, Canada going forward, Canada's ball. England making all the changes now.
Victoria Mason comes on. Kerry Large comes on. Hunt will go off. And Burford goes off as well. Her third involvement in the World Cup final, Rachel Burford. On the bench in 2006 in Edmonton. Second in England's trilogy of heartbreaks at World Cup finals. Sugawara. Hallery flies it inside to Mack. Canada still pressing. Huge commitment from Canada. 1.5 minutes left. Canada need to score. I need to score now if they are to have any chance. Kelly Russell piles forward. England doing their best to repel them, but Canada, wave after wave of attack. Waters just stopped by Hunter. England looking to turn the ball over, it's still there. Sugawara into the final minute. Scan Canada get over that line. Just penalties to their name so far. Paquin is tackled by the lady of the moment, Emily Scarratt, and she's turned that ball over as well, Emily Scarratt. 30 seconds left on the clock. England 8 metres away from their line. McLean clears, but we will have time, will we, for the line out? That's it now. Surely England have held out. They needed a moment of brilliance It came from Emily Scarratt in attack and there in defence. In the right-hand corner, 79.5 minutes on the clock. Emily Scarratt makes the tackle and turns the ball over, and it's loose. And it's a Canada penalty. This game is not over yet. England cannot celebrate yet. Belchos, Burke. The referee's watch is bleeping. Time is over. The performance didn't matter today. The victory did. And there it is. England are world champions. "20 years of pain is over for England." They had fallen at the final hurdle in the last 3 World Cups. Not this time. They would not be denied. They refused to be denied. And they have beaten Canada here, 21 points to 9. And they fully deserve their victory.
They do fully deserve the victory. I'm finding it quite hard to speak right now. Johnny, that's a fantastic performance from England. I just have to say, England are world champions after 20 years. Finally, they've done it today. 21 points to 9. They were leading all the way through. Emily Scarratt had a fantastic game. Maggie Alfonsi tackled everything that moved, but England have done it.
Well, I hope you enjoyed entering the vault here at the DHL Clubhouse. Not the result Canadians wanted, but what a performance. First of all, what a great game of rugby that, there were so many eyes. And as I said earlier, like the first time a lot of people have been watching women's rugby. What a great job both your teams did. Mandy, you've been around the game for a while. You knew the England team quite well. You must have been proud of at least the game that went on, even though the result didn't go our way.
Oh, absolutely. I think, entering that game knowing that there was going to be nothing easy about it and both teams were going to come out firing, which they did. In the end, like looking back at the loss, which still feels like a win in my eyes, but it wasn't. We did better than we thought, and we didn't lose by as much as we thought. Like I remember thinking, like, oh my God, wow, we really lost that game. But like looking back, we really didn't lose by that much, and it wasn't even that bad. So it's something to be. I'm so proud. Still so proud.
60 minutes in, there's 2 points in it. 2 points difference. The Australian referee, maybe didn't help your cause. But Kelly, you got to be proud of the team's efforts. And, even though the result didn't go, you got what a body of work for you as a captain and as a group of Canadians.
Yeah, 1 through 28, I think I would no doubt take any one of those girls on the field and know that they'd, again, play their hearts out and trust every single one of them. And I couldn't be more proud of being a part of this group of people, this team, this program, and the impact that we all kind of shared to make for women's rugby going forward. It was an incredible experience.
Well, thank you to all you and all your teammates. It was a great experience for a lot of Canadians, and unfortunately England's day, as we say, but we hope you enjoyed your trip back to the vault through DHL and the clubhouse here. Mandy Marchuk, Kelly Russell, outstanding ambassadors for our game. Congratulations and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.